Is anyone around? Oh, is Bonnie there? Bonnie, 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 Bonnie. Oh, no. Brandon. Hey, Brandon, how are you doing, my friend? I haven't been on in a long time. And I guess I can take these headphones off because you ain't talking to me. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? Okay, very good, very good. I just wanted to check. I haven't been playing with the computer for about 2 years. I just, what would you call it? Got bored. Um, didn't put in a garden this year. I've been, I've been kind of ill for the past 2 years. Um, been in and out of the hospital. Doctor's been drilling holes in me and putting pass-throughs in me, and I don't know if you know what a stent is, but they put one in my pancreas, one in my liver, one in my kidneys, and one in my bladder. And I went through all that stuff for about a year and a half and started feeling better. And then I got an infection on my chest, and they cut it out. The way they cut it out was they laid me on my back while I'm awake and take a needle and stick it in you, give you that old shot, and it cuts you open while you're still awake. No, no, that ain't me. Not while I'm awake, please. But they cut that out, and that took about a month of recuperation. And I threw my back out when they were stabbing me with that needle. And that's been about 3 months ago. Well, thank you, Brandon. I appreciate your kind words. But I threw my back out about 2 months ago, so I've been going to a chiropractor to get that straightened out. And I had to go up on my roof yesterday to adjust a ham radio antenna that I have, and to climb up that 10-foot ladder. That was a trick, I'll tell you. My left leg doesn't have quite enough strength in it to push myself up with that foot. So I had to pull myself up with one hand while I'm pushing myself up with the right leg. And I wasn't quite too sure. I mean, I've climbed up 50-foot telephone poles with no problem in the past. And that 10-foot ladder just about did me in. And I haven't been able to sleep. I've been taking Advil as a reliever of the pain from my back. And sometimes that helps me to sleep. Other times it doesn't. But I'm looking for Bonnie Seifert from Florida. We used to talk all the time, and we got to be, pretty good friends. And then I had to get off the computer for a while to get away from the room, and I lost touch with her. And I just hope she sees that I'm back online and comes in so we can reacquaint ourselves with each other. Um, yes, I smoke, and you know, some people, I don't know that they get offended, but they don't like to see people smoke. And I quit smoking for about 3 months one time, and every time I saw somebody smoke, made me want to have a cigarette too. And so I can understand, you know, I can understand their reasons for not wanting to see somebody smoke. Because I tell you, it'll wreak havoc on you. It really will. Uh, I will readily admit that smoking is probably one of the worst things you can do to yourself. Um, I'm 72 years old. I've been smoking since I was 14. I got a clean bill of health from my doctors and everything else saying that no cancer, no signs of any ill effects from smoking, other than smoking curbs my appetite. And boy, do I have an appetite, I tell you. I weigh 132 pounds. How's everything going with you, Brandon? Bonnie Seifert, are you around? Oh, fishes and loaves. Yeah, I'm still kicking. Yeah, my name is Kenny, Kenny, and I just stuck a new video on my channel uh, from 1993. You can see what GPS looked like in 1993. I was locating. You can't hear me on your end. Well, um, it may be bad signal, fishes and loaves, um, because the other people are hearing me with no problem. Okay, very good, fishes and loaves. No, J Dub, I don't see you. I see your question. Can you see me? Yes, I can see your text messages. But other than that, I don't know. And I'll try to be on here more often, like at least once a day or once a night. Okay, give Jim a call tomorrow. I will try that. I was supposed to send him some moringa tree seeds, and I never got to the post office. And just we've been doing fine here. We've been doing fine. I've been in and out of the hospital for the last 2 years, but I'm doing good now. And Tanya, hello. I guess it's pronounced Tanya's World. You know, one of my, I was having a problem with one of my feet. I thought I broke my foot. So I went to the emergency room and they had a doctor, woman doctor there from India, Tan's World. Okay. And now it's Tanya's World. Okay. I can follow that. But my foot had swollen up and it hurt really bad. Now I don't know if this happens to you or if you've seen it before, but when my foot swells up, the skin gets real tight and it looks real smooth and shiny. This doctor from India, lady doctor, she looks at me, looks at my foot, and looks back at me, and she says, "How long have you had shiny skin like this?" And I says, "Well, let's see. I'm 72 years old, so I guess it will be 72 years." But it's swollen up too. And she just shook her head and turned around and walked away. She'd come back a couple minutes later. She says, "Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to x-ray your foot." And I said, "Good idea. That's what I came here for." King Oscar. Well, hello, King Oscar. Good to see you again. You know, I was wondering if it was gout. And I've been looking at YouTube videos about gout, and they say, you know, eat a lot of onions, and that'll make the swelling go down. No, it didn't make the swelling go down. And you say try cherry juice. Now, I did hear that eating cherries was good to get rid of gout. 100% tart cherry juice helps. Well, I'm sorry to say that Lucy passed away about 5 months ago. Um, she, I was laying on the bed taking a nap, and she came in the bedroom. And, we had a little doggy bed in there for her so she could sleep in the bedroom when we went to bed too. And um, I was laying down, starting to go to sleep to take a nap, and Lucy came in and laid down on her bed. And I thought, well, that's strange because she never goes and lays down on her bed during the daytime. She'll lay on the floor in front of the couch or in front of the chair or something like that. And I fell asleep, and she did too. But I woke up and she didn't. That was very hard to take because I think Lucy was the finest dog we ever had. She was a real sweetheart. Oh, grandsons are doing great. Um, they just went home for the summer. They go home every weekend, but they stay with us during the week because their mother works days. The father works days and the mother works nights. And um,
W481A.
just a minute.
Turning off.
Ham radio in the background. Had to turn it down. Um, yeah, Grady's gonna go to school part time and work part time. They got a program up here where they take seniors and they, let you go for like classes in the morning and then you go to work in the afternoon and you get off from work in the afternoon at the same time you'd be getting out of school. So that's not taking any time away from their evenings or anything like that. And he's going to be, uh, I don't know what you would call it, like a candy striper type person at the hospital,
Thanks for using the
delivering meals to the rooms and stuff like that. Um, no, no. Uh, Somebody wants to know if I sold all my gourds off. Hang on 1 second. I got to pick something up off the floor. Okay. Here's one of my gourds. And here, it's about as big as my head. And I had over 200 of these. I've got about four of them sitting over here in the corner. Um, and the other 196 just basically rotted in a pile out the backyard, or the side yard, I should say. But nobody was really interested in them. I told them, I said, you just drill a hole in it, get all the seeds out, and you hang it up, and the purple martins will come and they'll live in those gourds, and they'll have their babies in the gourd. And the next year, they all come back, and it's like a family reunion every year. And all the family siblings and stuff are having more babies, and that creates a bigger family. And boy, I tell you, you can have some fun with the purple martins. You can go out and uh, go to like a bait and tackle store where they sell fish bait, and you can buy frozen crickets. And you got the purple martins flying around your yard, getting the insects, the mosquitoes and stuff like this. And you sit there with a spoon, plastic spoon, and you put one of them frozen crickets on a plastic spoon, and then you can flick it up in the air, and those purple martins will be watching it, and they'll swoop down and grab that cricket and keep on going. It's a lot of fun. But okay, fishes and loaves, we'll be here for a while. Yeah, I didn't even start a compost pile this year. I'm ashamed of myself. I've got probably 200 packs of seeds, And I went out. I got a gas engine rototiller, but I'll tell you, you got to be a man to run one of those. Oh, that'll throw you all over the yard. So I went out and bought a small one. It's only 11 inches wide and 6 inches deep, and it's electric. And I figured, well, I can handle that. I got out there the other day, and that thing just about rips your arms off, I'll tell you. And I got a spot probably a foot square that I rototilled before it beat me to death. So there's not going to be a garden this year. I don't know. I still got time to put out some crooked neck squash, whatever they call it, yellow squash. And I can grow tomatoes indoors, so I can grow them in my greenhouse. Oh, I got a tip for anybody that is there anybody out there that has tomato plants in the garden? If there is, just say, yeah. Jade, okay, Jess, I see what you wrote above. Well, you're quite welcome. Anything I can do to help, um, we're all in a financial bind. I mean, like limited incomes and things like this. I retired about 15 years ago, 17 years ago, I think it was. Well, I'm glad to hear that about the moringa, Jess. It's helped me a lot. Um, I haven't taken it in 2 years because I wasn't sure what was going on. Okay, leaf miners. I don't believe I've ever had leaf miners on my tomato plants. Um, and Jess, Barb's doing fine. Barb's doing fine. Well, I'll tell you, she's been through heck this past 2 years babysitting me. I mean, golly. I will tell her you said hello. Okay, now I'll tell you a secret about tomatoes, tomato plants. If you take the suckers off your tomato plants, stick them in water, and stick the suckers in the water, send them up in a windowsill. They'll grow roots, and then you take that sucker and stick it in the ground, you have another tomato plant identical to the one that you broke it off of. So there's a little tip for you. Well, we're subtropical here in South Carolina, I think. Maybe not, but we'd like to think we are. I mean, my neighbor's growing bananas in his backyard on a banana tree, and I got moringas growing outside. Yes, fishes and loaves. That is amazing. And I got that from Daisy Creek Farms. If you want to find a gardener that knows what he's doing. Go to Daisy Creek Farm YouTube channel. He has thousands of videos on there. Everything from, gosh, how he started his farm. He got a 20-acre farm and he grows all kinds of citrus trees, you know, oranges. I don't think peaches are citrus, I don't know, but oranges and peaches and apricots and apples and stuff like that. And he's got all of the berries, you know, raspberries, blueberries, um, and then the normal garden stuff. And he has some amazing gardens. And his name is Jag, J-A-G. That's what he shortened his name down to Jag. I think he's from India, but he's a terrific teacher. His videos, some of them are only like 8 minutes long, so they're easy to watch. And he doesn't get on there and, you know, talk about the news and the weather and the sports and then just tell you, oh, yeah, don't forget to water your plants. No, he does away with all that stuff and he only teaches you about the plants. So let me see here. You're in zone 10B, okay. Okay, I'm in zone 7, which, you know, to me really doesn't mean anything except when you look at the back of the pack of seeds. Well, this one doesn't have the map on the back, but let's see. These are tomatoes, Oregon Spring tomatoes. I don't know if it's coming out backwards on the screen or not, but it says they're seedless. Now, how can they be seedless when I got a pack of seeds? Let's see. Oh, they're nearly seedless tomatoes. Well, anyway, some of the seed packets have a map on the back. Let me see. I got another one here. Okay, here's one. Peppers. Okay, bell peppers. There's a little map on the back right here. That's how I know I'm in zone 7. That's the only way I know. I could call Clemson University and ask them, but then they'd start a conversation. They'd want to know my name, and then they go around all over the world and tell everybody, you know, this guy don't even know what zone he's in. He's zoned out. But no, I love growing stuff. I just have not. I have not felt good enough to go out and rip the ground up. Yeah, peppers love the heat. They definitely do love the heat. I grew a pepper here in the house, and they're little teeny red peppers, and I don't dare to eat them because my son told me they're one of the hottest peppers you can get. They come from, I think they were from Puerto Rico or something like that. But, and I'll tell you something else too. You go in a restaurant and you get something that really tastes good, like, wow, their cucumbers are great. Pick the seeds out of them, put them in a napkin, take them home, dry them, and put them in the refrigerator for about a month, and then take them out and plant them. They'll grow. That's how I grew my tomato plants last year. I got the seeds out of a tomato from a cheeseburger, and they worked. And why all the bruises on my right hand? Well, let me show you. And there is an explanation for it. I talked to my doctor about it. And I did not have a disease. I had diabetes, okay? But I don't have a disease. But look at my arm. All I have to do is bump into something. Now, this only happens on my arms or on the back of my hands. But bump into something and it'll turn black and blue. And I asked my doctor, I says, what in the heck is going on? And he says, you're getting older, Ken. Your skin is getting thinner. So when you bump into something, you're breaking blood vessels underneath that thin skin. No, I do not take any blood thinners. And tissue paper skin, that's about right. And I was out in I've got a shop out behind the house, and I used to have all my ham radio equipment out there. And I'd go out there and sit at night and talk on the ham radios. Well, it was a big console, about 8 foot wide. And I had all my radios installed in the console so that I could just sit in one chair and I could work any one of 4 different radios from that one chair. And I decided I was going to get rid of that thing because it was too big. So I took all the radios out of it and I brought them in the house. And I can show you a couple of them here. Let me get my camera around here. Let's see. There we go. That's one of them. That is a Kenwood TS450. And that was installed in the cabinet. And then I have the other ones sitting back here. Let's see, get the camera going. And those were installed in the cabinet. So I took them all out and brought them in the house. And I went back outside with my cordless electric screwdriver drill type thing. And I start disassembling this cabinet. And one part was a little bit heavier than I anticipated. And it came down on me and it got me in the arm right here. And then it cut me down here and got me on the finger here. So, needless to say, I didn't finish that project out there. So I got to go up tomorrow or the next day and finish getting it all apart. Let's see. Look what's going on here. Okay, well, I don't get, my fingers don't split on the ends. But, oh, here's another thing too. You see these little indentations right here? Well, it's worse on the left hand than it is on the right hand. And what those are telling you is you're dehydrated. When your fingers look like this, you're dehydrated and you need to drink water. Um, Three-time stroke survivor. That's amazing. Uh, I've been in and out of the hospital over the last 2 years, and it's things like, diabetes complications. Um, I've had at different times, now this was not all done at once, but they're all still in me. I've had stents in my bladder, my kidneys, my liver, and my pancreas. I don't know where else they could put one except in my heart, and they ain't gonna get there. Um, that's correct. Diabetes is not a joke. My sugar went wacko, and I don't know if it went too high or too low, but I went in to take a bath, take a shower, and I sat down on the commode, and I was there about 10, 15 minutes. And Barb come and opened up the door and says, "You okay?" She says, "You're not even in the shower." But the shower was running. I says, "I'm not getting in there with the dog." And she says, "Oh, stop it." And I says, "Stop what?" She says, "The dog ain't in there." I says, "There's Lucy right there in the shower." The dog wasn't in the shower. But I gave Barb a hard time about that. And one day I went to the hospital. They were going to put a stent in me. And when you go in the hospital, you walk up to the receptionist and she puts this wristband on you with your name and all this stuff. As soon as that lady touched my hand, I lost it. I don't know for how long or anything else, but Barb said that I just kept saying, "You're hurting me, you're hurting me." And she dragged me away, and I kept yelling, "They're hurting me, they're hurting me." And Barb said she was never so embarrassed in her life. Everybody in that waiting room was sitting there wondering, what's he talking about? This old man's crazy. And finally, the nurse from the department that was going to take me back and put me for surgery, she come out and took me back, and that's the last I remember until I came home. But oh, I was full of toxins. Well, I'll tell you, the doctor said if I would have been a day later, I probably wouldn't be here right now. He said that the toxins from my bladder were kind of like, if you want to call it, backing up into my brain, and that's what was causing me to have these two screwy days. Um, Well, that's true. Fishers and loaves, it can't clean itself out. But since they put the stents in me, I mean, my sugar used to run really high. I'd get up in the morning, my sugar might be 280. Okay, and my doctor doesn't want it any higher than 140. Well, since they put the stents in me, I get up in the morning and my sugar might be 85, 76. We got months of different sugar levels recorded in a little notebook so that we can show the doctor if he has any questions about it. But I have good days and bad days, and the bad days aren't really as bad as you might think. I mean, they're like I get up and feel groggy, and I get up at 6 o'clock in the morning, and by 8 o'clock I might have to go lay back down to finish my sleep. And but I didn't know I didn't have COVID. Somebody asked earlier about COVID. I did not have COVID. Um, I didn't have a stroke. I didn't have a heart attack. Uh, I didn't have the monkeypox. I've been drinking lots of water. I never realized how important it was to drink a lot of water. Um, when they did the little surgery on my chest and took that thing off my chest, they prescribed a painkiller. It was a prescription painkiller, and it says you can take up to 4 a day, but I didn't read all the directions. So I took two, plus the fact that I was dehydrated. Those two painkillers reacted on me in a way that it made me scared. I thought I was dying. I mean, seriously, I'm not saying this just to get people to click on my videos or nothing, but I actually thought I was dying. I would go sit down in the kitchen and I'd be there less than a minute, and something would tell me, get out of this room. You're not supposed to be in this room. So I'd go to the living room and I'd be there less than a minute, and the same thing. Something would tell me, get out of this room. You're not supposed to be in here. Now we got an 8-room house. So about every 16 minutes, I was back in the kitchen again, being told to get out by my imagination. And I cannot visualize what a druggie would be like, taking that medicine, because it was tramadol, I think is what it was called. No, I did not do the jab. No, ma'am. No, and Barb did not either. No, I figure if everybody else gets the jab, I won't need it. I mean, if you're in a room with 100 people, 99 of them get the vaccine, who are you going to catch it from? Nobody can catch it because they've all got the vaccine, you know. But we don't go anyplace. We don't, like we were sitting around over the weekend, and I said, Barb, um, out of all the people that called us and invited us to barbecue for the weekend, for, Memorial Day, which one do you want to go to? And she says, who all called? And I says, nobody. Nobody called. I mean, we've been sitting here for 8 years and we've had one visitor, and that was our next door neighbor, other than family, my son and daughter and grandchildren and stuff. Well, you got fibromyalgia. Is that what it is? Fishes and loaves? But I cannot understand what a druggie gets out of feeling like I felt. I mean, maybe they don't feel that way, but if they do, my Lord, they are some scared people. No, my only vice is smoking cigarettes. In fact, um, I quit taking the prescription medicine, and I take 2 Advil liquid gels, and that seems to numb me up so that I don't hurt at night. I usually take 2 in the morning and 2 in the evening, and medical Mary Jane cards. And chronic fatigue. Chronic fatigue. That may be what I have. But I also have what's called laziness. You know, like I'm sitting in a room that looks like a hoarder lives here because I've got tools. I've got boxes of seeds. I got a whole case of boxes of, like, this is wildflower blend for hummingbirds, and we love hummingbirds. And I got a case here with about 30 of these boxes in it, sitting up underneath my table. I got a dehydrator under here. I got 2 heaters under here. They're not plugged in and turned on. And I got another laptop sitting here. I got stuffed pickles that Barb canned last year. About a case and 1 1/3 cases of canned jars. I've got a couple firearms here. I got just so much stuff in here that there's no room to clean anything out. Oh, tomorrow I might do a show showing Barb's bear room. She's got over 1,000 bears in this bear room. Everything from ceramic teddy bears to jade teddy bears. I got her a jade bear when I was up in Alaska a couple of years back, and it's green jade, and it's a bear on all 4s with a fish in its mouth, and it was carved by an Eskimo. And you're not supposed to bring them to the lower 48 states. Actually, you're not supposed to take it out of Alaska unless it has the artist's name or initials carved in the object. Well, it ain't carved in it. And nobody ever asked at the airport if I had any jade, so I didn't tell them. But Tom and I went to Alaska in 1997. And I think that's the most fun we ever had, was when him and I went up there. We went up to a gold prospecting camp. Okay, let me read back here things I missed. Gummies. I love gummies. Chronic fatigue is overlapping symptoms of myalgia. Oh, I understand there's a difference between laziness and chronic exhaustion. But, I was just making the point that I'm too lazy to clean anything up. I sit around on the front porch in a rocking chair and watch people across the street playing ball in the ball field. And I say to myself, boy, I tell you, I got to get out there and get that lawnmower started because the battery was dead. And 2 weeks later, Barb dragged me out the back door and went and got the battery charger and got the lawnmower started. Okay. What does the HTP stand for? Fishes? I don't have ginseng, but I got turmeric. I don't use it. I did use it for a little while, and I didn't notice any change in anything, so I quit using it. And when I got sick, well, I did a lot yesterday. I think there's been about 2 days in the last 2 years that have really felt good enough to get out and do things out in the yard. And I'm going to tell you, Jim has a pig now. Well, when are we going to have a pig roast? Okay, very good. Fishes and loaves. Is it a potbelly pig, Jess? Like a potbelly pig. Is that what you're talking about, Jess? I quit. I quit taking the ringer too because I wasn't sure if the moringa would screw up the medicines that the doctor was giving me Um, so I didn't dare to take the moringa along with the other medicines, the insulin, and then I've got like an insulin tablet, small one that I take at night. And I'm only taking about 3 things. But they're all diabetically related. Aside from the Advil. You got a cat. How's your mom doing, Jess? You tell your mom I said hello. Yeah, that's a good idea, Fishes. Borrow Jim's pig to plow my garden. Okay, very good, Jess. Jess. What did I drop here? I dropped something. Hey, Jess, do you remember? Uh, do you remember that channel we had? What was it? Love Gone Wrong or something like that. That was fun doing that. Never plant pig poo early. It's asking for trouble. Oh, yeah, I have a whole bunch of little teeny miniature pigs running around in the backyard. Okay, very good, Jess. I was locked out of my channel for a while too. Um, it locked me out because I was not active. And I had to go in and reclaim my channel. And when I did, it brought all my videos back up. And I have a question. Has anybody else had a problem with YouTube reducing the size of the text on your channel? Because mine, the text is so small that I have to get right up on the screen to read anything in YouTube. No, I didn't have to reclaim it because I got sick. I had to reclaim it because I hadn't used it in a long time. And they weren't sure if I was still, alive or whatever the case may be. Um, So they kind of like suspend you, and then you go back in, and you have to let them know that you are an active person and you want your channel back, and then they give you your channel back. They keep cutting the comments off. That ain't nice. Okay, very good on upping your readers. I've gone through all the settings available on my computer and on YouTube, and I cannot get the text back to the normal size. I mean, the text on the YouTube channels, the text any place on YouTube is smaller than the text that you're reading in the chat section. It's small, it's about half that size or maybe less. Well, you're lucky, Jess. I don't have enough subscribers to get monetized. And they'd probably demonetize me real soon anyway, because uh, I don't really put much on there anymore. If I do shorts, I can get paid now. Okay, what is a short, Jess? Yeah, that's It's true, fishes. I don't have, well, I guess I do have the time. Um, let me see. I don't know if I got any videos on here or not. Oh, I got a guy that jumped off a mountain with a parachute, and he's floating across the yard. I got a video here of Lucy, very short video.